Hey everyone, I'm Kai Down, and today we're going to be checking out the DemonFX Fuzzworks 7. Now, everyone knows the best way to do an unbiased video is to purchase the pedal for yourself. Now, the second best way is to borrow the pedal. This video is not sponsored, nor is it biased. Affordaboard are loaning me this pedal for demo purposes, but no money has changed hands. There will be a non-affiliate link to Affordaboard's website in the description box below if you'd like to purchase this pedal for yourself. Also, since they've given me free reign on the store, please let me know if there's anything else on their website that you'd like to see me check out. I should start by saying this is obviously a clone of the Zvex Fuzz Factory 7. Now, I assume most people in the market for this DemonFX pedal aren't even considering the original Zvex Fuzz Factory, given the stark differences in their prices. The Zvex Fuzz Factory 7 sits in at around £400, whereas the DemonFX costs just 1/8 of that price at £50. Now, for this demo, I'm going to treat the DemonFX pedal as its own thing, rather than try and compare it to the original. If you are in the financial position where you can even consider purchasing the Zvex pedal, I suggest you do so. Without brands like Zvex, DemonFX wouldn't be able to exist. Okay, let's get into some tones. Firstly, we'll hear my dry tone. I'm running the Yamaha Guitars RS820 into ML Soundlab amped Gemini. This is a super clean amp so that we can really hear what the pedal is doing. Let's hear how this sounds. Now, one important thing I need to mention about fuzz pedals before I get too far into the video is you have to run them first in your chain before any buffers. I want to start with one of the presets from the manual just to get a sense of the fuzz pedal before we get into the weirder things and see if it can oscillate. Let's go for these nice Velcro fuzz settings. We've got the gate at 7 o'clock, the compression and the drive at 4 o'clock, and the stability at 2 o'clock. Okay, so we're already into oscillation territory with this one, so we're going to have to stray from the manual a little bit and improvise. We're going to keep the pedal turned off while I go into the controls because as soon as we turn that back on, it's going to start oscillating again. Now, this is absolutely fine. This is normal for a pedal like this. A lot of fuzz faces, fuzz factories, and anything sort of based around that circuit does this very same thing, so we'll go through how to fix this one shortly. The self-explanatory knobs here are the tone knob, the drive, and the volume knobs. The tone knob works exactly the same as the tone knob on your guitar. The drive knob is just your level of saturation, and the volume is the overall output level. The tone knob is assigned to the foot switch on the pedal, so you can turn this one on and off. Now we've got some of the weirder sounds in the unit. The comp is a compressor. As you turn this one up, it gets almost synth-like and cuts a lot of the attack of the note. The stab is a stability knob. Turn this one all the way up and you'll get a nice stable sounding fuzz, with no sort of glitchy artifacts or anything like that. But as you turn this one down, it starves the pedal of voltage, making it spitty and velcro-y and really nice ripping sounds, and also sort of glitchy territory. The fat control is a 9-position rotary switch that adjusts the thickness of the sound. All the way left will be a super thick, beefy sound. This would work really well on bass, while all the way right is really aggressive and bright. The only other knob to mention is the gate. This is just a noise gate that chokes off the signal as you turn it up. One thing I know from using modded fuzz face circuits like this in the past is that pretty much all of the knobs will affect the oscillation in some way. There are a few ways to stop this oscillation. The first one is just to keep playing through it. Typically, the oscillating sounds are tied to the strength of your input signal. This is how you can see guys like Matt Bellamy from Muse adjusting the pitch of these oscillations using the volume knob on their guitar. Let's see how that one works. Okay, so that one is obviously quite chaotic. That would work a lot better in a live setting where you're able to quickly turn the pedal on and off when you don't want to hear the oscillations anymore. The next method is to crank the stability knob. This is usually the safest option. One slightly less reliable way to curb it is by using the drive knob on the pedal. This works in sort of the same way as noise and feedback in high gain amps, where the drive is actually amplifying the signal. Okay, so you'll see that that one didn't work for the way that I've got the pedal set up right now, hence it being the more unreliable option. The final solution is to raise both the compression and the gate, but this will likely affect your fuzz tone heavily, so I don't usually gravitate towards this as a solution. Okay, now let's get into dialing some of my own tones. I want to start out with sort of a glitchy fuzz sound, kind of like Billy Talent got on the song Devil in a Midnight Mass. Okay, so that's how that sounds. I'm quite enjoying that one actually. Please let me know what you think of this one in the comments. Drop it on a scale of 1 to 10. Personally, I'm feeling sort of 7, maybe even an 8 at this time. Okay, next we're going to go for a slightly broken up vintage sound, almost like an overdrive. The first port of call here is to pull up the dry switch on the rev star and then engage the spring reverb in the amped Gemini plugin. One big key here is going to be keeping the drive on the pedal quite low. You know, for an aggressive fuzz pedal like this, it actually pulls off an overdrive sound really nicely. Now we're going to switch the cabinet in the Gemini plugin over to a 4x12 cabinet and see if we can pull something big, thick and doomy out of it. Obviously we're going to need to be in the bridge pickup of the rev star for this. Yeah, that really pulls it off. It's almost like Big Muff style there. I'm really enjoying how versatile this pedal can be. Let's see if we can also incorporate the tone on-off switch to be sort of a filtered intro sound. Yeah, that works quite nicely. The tone knob is after the whole fuzz pedal, so it's almost like having a tone knob on your guitar in the middle of your signal chain. It's kind of strange, but I do quite like it, especially on the more brighter settings of this pedal. I want to see what this pedal can do for some big fuzzy lead tones. We're going to switch on the reverb and delay, and we'll stay on the 4x12 for this. Okay, so obviously that one took quite a lot of time to dial in. That is one thing you'll find with a lot of these sort of Fuzz Factory style pedals, is that sometimes you really want the stability to be low so you get a nice ripping Velcro sound. You also want the gate to be low so that you can have your notes ring out, but there aren't really any settings that accommodate for both of those things. So it is something of a compromise, but that could be fun and challenging in its own way. I do want to try one sort of Big Muff riff thing, see if we can try and get some Smashing Pumpkins vibes out of it. To say, for £50, I am in love with this thing. There is something of a learning curve to pedals with self-oscillation features such as this Fuzzworks 7. If you do happen to purchase this pedal for yourself, I'd recommend keeping the volume low while you're figuring out the self-oscillation. I did it a lot in this demo. Whenever it started to squeal and self-oscillate, I turned the volume down and then messed with the other knobs until the oscillation went away. I think you will be very hard pressed to find a fuzz pedal as good as this in this price point. I may go as far as to say it could be a contender for my favourite fuzz pedal ever. I want to close out by saying thank you again to Affordaboard who loaned me this pedal. If you are thinking of purchasing one for yourself, do so from the link below. This will actually work out a lot cheaper than if you were to purchase it from AliExpress, at least for UK residents. I'm not too sure about the international shipping side of it, but yeah, if you're UK based, buy it through Affordaboard. I will be doing more DemonFX demos in the future, so keep an eye out for those. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Kai.